Okay, so collecting Pokemon cards sounds pretty easy, right? I mean, all you have to do is go to the store, grab some packs, head home, rip open the packs, protect the cool ones that you find in the sleeves, and stash them in your binder. At least, it's supposed to be that easy, but if you tried this today, you'd quickly find the Pokemon card sections at your Target looking like some kind of post apocalyptic scenario. You'd then hop online only to see the same packs that should have been in store going for 2 to 4 times the normal price, while some Instagram influencer brags about their hoarded collection of cards to be resold. Now you're probably wondering, who the heck are buying all of these cards? Because let's be honest here, kids aren't going to have this kind of disposable income, and yeah, it's pretty true. No, instead, we can break it down into 4 categories of buyers, best distinguished by the varying degrees of how much we should judge them for buying Pokemon cards. Okay, first up, we've got the folks that actually play the Pokemon card game, which lands right about here in the weirdest level. These buyers are the most valid of the bunch. After all, they're getting the cards for their intended purpose. But let's be honest, who actually plays the game instead of just keeping cards in a rear binder to look at all nice and stuff? Luckily, the game is actually pretty simple. You simply make a deck of your cards, draw a couple of them, play your strongest card using whatever strong move you have, hope it knocks out your opponent's cards, and have your opponents do the same thing and repeat a bunch of times. It's like a complicated game of war. Wait, hold up. I'm sorry, it seems that the actual TCG players are getting mad at me because this is how my brother and I used to play the card game and not the tournament legal way, which in reality is just a coin flipping simulator where you flip tails and your opponent flips heads. Okay, after the people who actually play the trading card game, we have the art collectors, who are a little bit weirder, but still pretty valid in actually buying Pokemon cards. These are the people who just like looking at pretty cards and keeping them. These would be the kids who don't know anything about the game, or collectors who are just drawn to the art, or just random adults who just have a little bit extra income at the time, but not enough for a significant other. They're here for the visuals, and honestly, they're pretty harmless, and most of them are pretty normal. Unless they exclusively collect Carnivore and Lopunny cards. Then, straight to jail. Okay, now the third group is where everything starts to fall apart. These are the people I call the gambling addicts, which is pretty high on the weirdness level, and honestly, they probably shouldn't be the people buying Pokemon cards. You see, no Pokemon card pack is made the same, and to understand this best, you have to understand that there are multiple rarity types. We have common cards, uncommon cards, rare cards, and holo versions of all of these, which we only got like one holo per pack. And these rarity types lived in harmony until a Pokemon company were like, we can make more money out of this. Why don't we just mess this all up? So now we have EX cards, V cards, full illustration cards, alternate illustration cards, gold star cards, and many, many more, with this pretty understandable and easy to read chart. Now, due to the different levels of rarities, and each group of rarities having a couple different cards, and each pack only having 10 or so cards, where most packs only have one rare card, which is usually some normal holo, opening Pokemon cards is now a gambler's wet dream. Yeah, so these people, instead of gambling their money away at like a casino or a lottery or at like a strip club to see if their favorite stripper loves them or not, they've instead decided to gamble on Pokemon cards because honestly it hits different. To make matters more complicated and better for gambling, Pokemon cards have a value to them. Yeah, a market price that they can be sold for. But then there's the grading policy. Like in school, Pokemon cards can be graded for how messed up or dirty they look. Cards that are in pristine condition, with no blemishes or manufacturing errors, without parental traumas or mental health issues. Yeah, those are the cards with the highest scores, a perfect 10 or 9, which will get the highest paying jobs. Sell for the most. Okay, moving on. The last group are the resellers of the Pokemon world. The scalpers, the wait in line outside a GameStop before they open, the stalk a Target employee people. They come out at night with the anime body pills and lay waste to the Pokemon card shelves in the morning. They represent all that is wrong with the collecting community with their grubby little chicken tender hands and push away any kids or parents that stand in their way. They are why you can't find anything. The weirdest of the weird. With these 4 groups, the Pokemon card world has become a competitive arena. Prices have skyrocketed, availability has plummeted, and the joy of collecting has been overshadowed by people looking to make a profit. But don't worry, come close, because I have a secret that no one wants to tell you about collecting cards. Just buy the cards that you want, And instead of buying packs and tearing them apart trying to get lucky, wasting all your money to get some chase card that doesn't compare to the amount that you spent last Tuesday, just buy what you want. Save the money you would have spent on some Pokemon cards and just go home happy. Unless you have a gambling addiction. Then go home and get therapy.